Hello guys, my name is Prince and this is Math Center. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Post your comments and questions on my social media handles and I'll respond to it. We are on the topic vectors. In the previous video, we learned how to find the coordinates of the vertex of a parallelogram and we solved some questions. In this video, we are going to learn about the inverse or negative vector. If vector AB is equal to xy, the components of vector AB are x and y, then the inverse of vector AB is vector BA. So the inverse of vector AB is vector BA. So if you have a vector and you reverse or you interchange the position of the letters, that one is the inverse of the other. This is what I mean. Let's say we have vector GF. We have vector GF. And we change their position. So we now have vector FG. Vector GF is the inverse of vector FG. Or vector FG is the inverse of vector GF. In the same way, if you have the vector PK, and you interchange their positions and have vector KP, we say that vector KP is the inverse of vector PK is the inverse of vector KP, or vector KP is the inverse of vector PK. So if you interchange the position of the letters, one is the inverse of the other. How do you find the inverse of a vector? Vector BA, which is the inverse of vector AB, is equal to minus vector AB. So if you have one vector and you want to find its inverse, multiply each component by minus 1. So here, vector BA, which is the inverse of vector AB, is equal to minus times minus vector AB. And this will give us, what are the components of vector AB? XY. So minus XY. So you multiply the x component by minus 1, you multiply the y component by minus 1. So all that you need to do if you want to find the inverse of a vector is that negate the x component and negate the y component. So if you have vector AB and you want to find vector BA is equal to negative of the x component, negative of the y component. That is all. Let's pick some examples. The inverse of a vector is also called its negative vector because you are making it minus. It's called its negative vector. If you find a vector and its inverse have the same magnitude but opposite direction. So if you find the magnitude and direction of a vector and its inverse, you will see that the magnitudes are the same, but the directions will be opposite. We have learned how to find the magnitude and direction of a vector. So you see that if you find the magnitude and direction of a vector and its inverse, they will have the same magnitude, but their directions will be different or opposite. Let's solve these questions. If PQ is equal to minus 3 minus 4, find QP. And if AB is equal to 1 minus 2, find BA. Let's pick the first one. If PQ is equal to minus 3 minus 4, find QP. We know that QP is equal to minus PQ because QP is the inverse of PQ. So we are going to have minus 3 minus 4. So we negate the x component, which is already negative. So it is going to be minus 3, which will give us 3. Then we also negate the y component. So minus 4, which will also give us 4. So if PQ is equal to minus 3 minus 4, QP will give us 3, 4. If AB is equal to 1 minus 2, what is BA? We know that BA is equal to minus AB, and this will give us minus 1 minus 2. So we negate the x component. It's positive here, so if you negate it, you are going to have minus 1. Then minus 2, which will give us 2. So it's like we have -1 here, and we are using that -1 to multiply the x component, and we are using the same -1 to multiply the y component. So this will give us -1 times 1, which is -1, -1 times -2, which is +2. So if you have a vector and you want to find its inverse, all you need to do is to multiply the x component by -1 and multiply the y component by -1. The new vector that you have is the inverse of the other vector. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the next video, we are going to learn about the triangular law of vector addition, and we will learn how to use it to solve some questions. Bye bye.